Hello, Internet. Sometimes I feel like the Cinderella genre is a literal plague on to the current movie day climate. There are so many of them, and what I've been discovering is that a lot of them are really bad. But I like to not keep myself in this gloom and doom. So I am like, okay, I think they're all bad. Let me discover which ones are actually good to prove myself wrong and that there are good Cinderella adaptations. If you didn't watch the first part of this series, I gave myself a bunch of complicated rules and spreadsheets to compare 4 different movies to the live action Cinderella Disney movie to see if they were better. And I made a list of 20 Cinderella movies, except though I counted recently and I think it's 19, so I might have to fix that. All from the 2000s, and I put them on a wheel, and then I spun that wheel. Whatever I got, I watched. And I was like, well, I have to do it again, because I only watched 4 movies. And so that got put on a point system of 27.5. Yeah, it's a bad number. Numbers aren't my strong suit. And then I rated it personally. Last time I played this game, I was blessed by the wheel giving me 2 movies I actually had watched before. Really made it a way easier watch time. But as I kept spinning the wheel, I was like, oh no, that means I'm getting left with movies I have no clue what are about. Who knows? They could prove me wrong, and that is what we're gonna find out today, because we're gonna spin that wheel and see what amazing Cinderella adaptations I get stuck with. Cinderella's Revenge is, firstly, it starts with Cinderella's dad getting beheaded. So, like, they're getting a bit original with the source material. There's a lot of cheap-looking gore in this movie because it is a horror movie. But it kind of gets to a point where, like, you don't know if the horror is like, ooh, it's so scary, or the horror that I'm watching this and I've spent real time of my very short human life on this movie. But okay, the start of the movie, other than the beheading, is like the normal Cinderella story, okay? Her dad's dead, she's cleaning up the house, and then 40 minutes in, her fairy godmother goes, okay, here's a devil's mask that will give you the power to hurt the people who have been mean to you, go off, and then she starts killing a bunch of people. But actually, backtracking before she starts killing people, because there's way more. Honestly, that's not the crazy thing that happens in this movie, because if we go back before she's going to the ball, her fairy godparent is an omniscient fairy, so she is present throughout all time, which means she says this movie is based in probably the 1900s or whatever. The god fairy, she's like, yeah, Cinderella, you should invest in Apple.
Buy stock in Apple, trust me.
Apples. Great. But not only that, when it's time to go for the ball, usually the fairy godmother, bibbidi bobbidi boo, here's your fancy new dress. But no, this god fairy's like, actually, I'm gonna get a bunch of famous designers throughout all of time to come and design your dress. So few of the names mentioned, okay, Tom Ford, he comes into the movie, helps make the dress. Louis Vuitton comes and gives her shoes. So yes, her glass slippers do have a red bottom on it. Her dress is really ugly, but they didn't have that much time. She had to go to that ball that night, so I guess give Tom Ford some leeway. And of course, Cinderella, she only deserves the best to travel to the ball, and a carriage that's so overdone, especially when this god fairy's like, yeah, Louis Vuitton, he's here. I just want you to picture what you think would be a dream mode of transport. You might be thinking, oh, a plane, I don't know, a helicopter. So if you chose orange Tesla, you win $1 million, because Cinderella gets driven to her ball in an orange Tesla, and they're glazing the fuck out of this electric car. It was 2024, but not only that, of course, if you have a Tesla, you gotta get the guy that invented it to drive her. So Elon Musk is in this Cinderella movie and drives her to her ball.
Elon Musk, of course. Whenever you need a stylish mode of transportation that's good for the environment, he's your man.
Hi.
The same movie that she gets a demon mask and kills a bunch of people. I stalked the crew of this movie, and a lot of them are involved with those horrible, like, Winnie the Pooh horror movies. Yeah, that makes sense. Because this is dog water. This is dog water. And I do feel like they might have used Grok AI to make this movie because the Elon Musk glaze was like too much. Okay, so she gets back from the ball. And now she has the demon mask. And it gets to a point where you're like, I don't know if I'm meant to be rooting for her. Because, yeah, she's getting back to her stepfamily that, like, horribly abused her and, like, gave her lashings. Like, she's getting back at them. That's good, I guess. But she's also, like, leaving their dismembered body parts, like, around the house. I think you're liking this too much. And it's not much of a revenge story anymore. It's like, she's actually, like, way more insane than them. And I need her to stop, because why is she leaving eyeballs on a pillow? Like, Ella, chill. And while on her killing spree, she, like, talks to her godfather. And she's like, I think there's, like, a darkness in me. I'm enjoying this way too much. Like, I need help. And it's like, girl, who gave you the demon mask? She's not gonna stop you. She's probably gonna be like, yeah. Well, yeah, she literally was, yes, go, kill them all. Like, yeah, fuck them. Final moments, all her stepfamily dead. And you're like, well, how is she gonna get away with this? She literally tied up her dead stepsister to look like a dead pig. The cops come, and it's her god fairy, so she gets away with everything, and it's like, good for you, I guess. But that's not my Cinderella. To reward the viewers for watching this dog pile, they were like, and here's Cinderella having sex with the prince. Literally, that's the final scene. And my takeaway is, computer, make a bad Cinderella movie. Extra AI. After watching that movie, I feel like I've been possessed some evil dark vibes. So I'm really hoping that their next movies like wash that away. So I'm gonna keep spinning this wheel to get rid of that bad juju. 2016's A Cinderella Christmas is what if Cinderella happened on Christmas. Okay, no, really, it's about what if a woman with distracting lip filler who runs a catering company fell in love with her boss, the guy that hired her for this Christmas event. And yes, the guy who hired her is a wealthy bachelor. But you know what? I will take it over Cinderella's Revenge. I'll take it. I love you. A Cinderella Christmas. Let's get into it. Okay, so Ella, her name is Angie in this movie, and the prince, his name is Nicholas. And I spent way too long of this movie thinking like there was going to be a reveal being like, oh my god, he's Santa. But it turns out I just have way more Christmas whimsy than this movie. His name is Nicholas. It's Christmas. That's Santa. And they were like, no. He's just a white man. It's like, ugh. Santa is at their wedding, though. Don't get me wrong. Angie, she has an event business that she runs with her cousin, but her cousin does jack all and pretty much just takes all the credit for Angie's work. And they're currently booked to host and plan this Chris Masquerade Ball. And Angie makes this fun game where you bring in a stocking and you put 5 personal items in there and then you hang it up and then someone else chooses your stocking. And if you two choose the same stocking, you win a prize, which sounds like a game that's really easy to rig. But that would be silly to do that because it's actually fate that Nicholas and Angie chose each other's stockings. That's beautiful. Love is love. But of course, it's Cinderella rules. So they've realized they've chose each other's stockings and it's getting cold. Hey, if you found your stocking match, come and win the prize. But it's Cinderella. So, it's 12 o'clock. She's running away. And he's like, no, but at least I have her stocking and shoe. I can't remember. I think she just leaves a stocking. And she flees back into the kitchen to like pretend that she was in the kitchen the whole time because she was meant to be working instead of being at the party. But she still has his stocking. And after the dance, she like opens it up to see what sort of man she danced with. And oh my God, he's the perfect man. He likes gum, he likes rocks, and he likes ugly t-shirts. Ah, what a dream!
I'm funny, look.
And Nicholas, he's having a breakdown because he was like, oh my God, that girl was the girl of my dreams. She's everything I wanted. Her stocking, amazing. I need to marry this girl. I set up a wedding where I call for her. She will come and we'll be wed. So he books Angie's company again to be like, hey, I need you to host my wedding. But little does he know, he is hosting her wedding. But her secret of being the mysterious girl that he's in love with and wants to marry doesn't last too long. Her cousin finds out and she's like, oh my God, wait, this is perfect because I want to get with the bachelor guy. Because why would you want to? You're a loser. Let me pretend I'm you. I'll marry him and you can have the whole business to yourself. It works. Nick's like, oh my God, my dream girl's here. Until he starts realizing, hey, wait, this girl that knew nothing about jewelry suddenly is like really selfish and like is asking for all these designer things. Like that's not my Cinderella. That's not my Cinderella. And her cousin also gets outed at the wedding because she has a hot mic and pretty much goes like, yeah, I'm evil. I was faking the whole time. And it's like, girl.
Yes. In fact, all of the guests outside heard your conversation. Both your conversations.
He marries the right girl, and their wedding photos will forever look tacky because once again, Santa was there. And my takeaway is stay away from men that said, I want to give this girl what I couldn't give all my exes, and it's marriage to a girl he met once. I'm sorry, I kept fucking with my lighting and very lack of lighting. So let's spin that wheel for a third time. 2018's A Cinderella's Enchanting Beginning is not really enchanting, not really a beginning because it's just the plot of Cinderella, and it's incredibly boring. It's just modern day Cinderella, but bad. It's not that great of a sign that the big ball is a shareholders ball. If I'm a kid, I'm not going, oh my God, the shareholders ball? I will give this movie props. Its choice of graphics, amazing. I wish I could find this movie in higher quality, but my very legal sites that share movies on it, this was as good as quality as it got. But back to the graphics, she's having a FaceTime with her auntie, and it's awesome because it just cuts to a wide FaceTime and then back to the phone FaceTime, and I'm like, this is awesome.
Hey, Cindy.
Hey, I'm Claudia.
What are you doing, honey?
As always, you know what it's like living here.
I don't know why you put up with those women.
But that also was all that I took away from this movie. Some original things that happen in this movie is that I am pretty sure Cinderella's dad dies on her birthday in this movie. So that's fun for her. And her big dreams is to own a house. And it's just like, in this economy, girl, good luck making rent. This definitely is the most boring Cinderella movie because there's a big cleaning montage, okay? And she is moving like someone just put on Fireball by Pitbull. This movie had a really low budget, and you can tell because it spends the whole movie at the house, which also makes the big shareholder ball even more boring because it's just at her house. She's not invited to a ball that's at her house. Okay. And she has fun. I really just want to move on from this snooze fest. This movie was so boring. The fact that you can only find this movie in such low quality is like a sign that no one wanted to watch it. Let's spin that wheel for the final time. Whoa! Wait! What's this? That wasn't on the wheel? Or made in the 2000s? What is this? A bonus movie? Okay, I was so miserable thinking about all the movies that I've had to watch so far. I needed something fun, and so we have Cinderelmo. What if Elmo was Cinderella? He is so dirty in this movie. Like, they covered his little puppet self in so much dirt, and it actually was like making me sad. I was like, why are they treating Elmo like this? He's just a little monster, and here he is covered in dirt, and it's just like, oh my god, Cinderelmo. He has a mean stepmother that is making him dust everything, but it's actually okay because he sings a song about how much he actually loves dusting. Like, oh, he's just a little sweetie. But the actual, like, Cinderella part, princess, she's turning 18, and in this kingdom, when a princess turns 18, she needs to get married or they lose the kingdom. So they're hosting a big ball so she can find a husband, and the princess is like, invite everybody. And because it's a Sesame Street movie, they go, yes, that's the kind thing to do. We'll invite everybody. And so Elmo, he's so excited to go to the ball, but his stepmother, evil, goes, no, you can't go. You need to clean the house. So he's heartbroken. Elmo's fairy god person comes and he's like, oh, little Elmo, I will help you. Gives him some nice new clothes. And then he also turns Elmo's dog into a human. And also changes the dog bowl into a carriage. So literal dog water. Cinderelmo, he is a powerhouse, okay? He's so good at dancing that he catches the princess's eyes. And she's like, whoa, that little monster is so good at dancing. I want to marry him. But it strikes 12, so Elmo, he has to get out of there. He has no idea that this 18-year-old princess just said that she wants to marry him. And so he's running back to his house. And personally, at this point, I'm like, I don't know if the 18-year-old princess should marry the 3-year-old monster. It's okay, because when the princess comes to be like, Elmo, I'm gonna marry you, he goes, I can't be married before kindergarten.
Married? Before kindergarten? Almost too young to get married.
He can't commit to a commitment like that, princess. He has friends to play with. He's not even in kindergarten yet. She's kind of bummed out because she has no one to marry. But the king is like, wait, we're in charge. Elmo, you are now 4, and you don't need to marry anyone, princess. Elmo is a bit like, fairy god person, can you give her one final reward? And so the dog, who got turned into a human and then back into a dog, gets turned into a human. So now, instead of being in love with a little monster, she's now in love with a dog. Also, Kermit is in this movie, and Bert and Ernie realize that they don't want to marry the princess either. And they go and get ice cream together on a date. That's beautiful. But that was my much needed break from the slop fest that I've been having with these movies. Thank you, Cinderella Elmo. Now to finally stop avoiding my Cinderella slop fest, it's time to spin that wheel for one final time. Out of every single movie I watched this time, 2018's not a Cinderella's type. I definitely wrote the most amount of notes about it, which I don't know is a good or a bad thing, because it just was a lot of me being baffled about choices that they made in this movie. The movie just starts straight away with Cinderella's mom dead, and she's at the funeral and she's holding a cat, and I was like, awesome, a cat, I love cats. And then she's crying in her bedroom holding her cat, and I'm like, yay, cats, yay, cat. I'm not really watching the movie, I'm just like, yay, a cat, yay. And her inner monologue is filled with such a tone that I was like, this is giving Wattpad. And it was made by a Wattpad writer, and I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. But also, now that we both know that it is a Wattpad movie, it does make how the characters act make way more sense. cats. So yeah, remember that cat I was so excited about? Yeah, that cat is dead. The guy that plays the like love interest in this movie, it's 6 minutes into the movie, has run over her cat. Her cat is dead. Dead mom, dead cat. That's that meet cute. Sorry, girl, I ran over your cat, but you're a hottie, let's kiss. So not only is she grieving her mother, she's grieving her dead cat, and she also lives with her horribly abusive auntie and uncle. And she has this guy who ran over her cat that is just not leaving her alone, because she literally goes up to him. He's like, what can I do? What can I do to make it up to you? Like, I'll be here for you. Like, let's talk about it. And she's like, you could leave me alone.
Please forgive me, Indy.
Before you killed my cat, you hadn't even said 2 words to me. And now you expect me to be nice? No.
And he's like, no, like, I think you need a friend. And I don't know, if the girl that you just ran over her pet cat is telling you to leave her alone, like, leave her alone, but he does not give her space. What this movie does differently, they literally like go, yeah, she's a victim of child abuse. Like, they say the words victim and child abuse. And I was just like, whoa, yeah, she is. And Bryant, the prince, he is so desperate to get in Cinderella's good books after, you know, the cat incident. As they like start to hang out, he starts like piecing together that like, oh, her home life is like not good, not good. He comes into her room. He's like looking around and he goes, wait, you have no dolls. And I was like, oh my God, wait, she really is a victim. No dolls? Look at him. And she's like, yeah, my family had to sell all my toys to pay for the funeral. But he's like, girl, my mom also dead. And he does a little more trauma dumping, and he's like, yeah, and my dad saw your mom at her final moments. As they like start hanging out with each other more, they go on like a kind of date, because Indy the whole time is like, this isn't a date, this isn't a date. He's like, I really like you, like, this is a date, we can keep it secret if you want a date. And I like rose up. I was like, secret dating? That's like almost as good as fake dating.
This way then. We'll just keep our relationship
Friendship?
a secret for a couple of weeks and see how that goes. I want to hang out with you as friends and maybe more one day.
But she's like, no. And it's about to get really messy, because then she goes to her guy best friend and she's like, oh my gosh, I think Bryce likes me. And her boy best friend is like, oh, and how did he react when you told her you have a boyfriend already? And she's like, what? And I'm like, what? Because her best friend thought that they have been dating for a year now. When she tries to talk about like, wait, why do you think that? And he kisses her and I'm like, yeah!
I didn't even know we were in a relationship.
Now that you do.
Why is he like that? I think it cringes me out more because how her 2 love interests talk to her remind me a lot of the 2 guys I met on an Among Us Discord server that I had crushes on. And that was a bad time in COVID. And so getting reminded of that, I'm like, yuck! That's them on my screen! Yuck! I need to relax. But after this whole mess, she goes on a date with her best friend and he takes her to a rope course. And like, I know that high schoolers, and while I was in high school, I thought a rope course was cool. But it's like, as your first actual proper date, dude. And so then Brian, he's like, okay, let me show you how it's done, and takes her to a park, which I guess compared to the rope course is more romantic. But there's a bunch of kids playing on the park, and he's like, yeah, this is my favorite park. But like, he is a 16-year-old. Like, as the movie's tension between her and her family keeps growing, it all like boils over to like this one night where she's like had enough, and she's like, you guys treat me horribly, you. But her auntie is just like, well, I heard that you kissed a boy at the soccer field because, gross, she kissed her best friend again. So they've had 2 kisses in this movie. Yuck!
Come on.
And her standing up for herself makes them way more angry. So they're like, it reaches a point where she starts packing and to like run away because like she's like, I'm not safe in my house anymore. And she calls up her best friend and she's like, I'm scared. I need help. It's really bad here. And he's like, oh, can we call tomorrow? And hangs up on her. I'm sorry, if you are in love with this girl, apparently, okay, you've been in love with her and thinking you were dating her for a whole year now, and she just calls you about her abusive family abusing her, and it's not a safe environment right now, and you hang up on her, I'm like, you're not being the final love interest, that's for sure. And she doesn't even have to call Bryant because he was already just worried. He saw how they acted when he dropped her off from their park date that day, and so he came over anyway to check if she was okay, and he's like, oh, it is not okay. Okay, I'm gonna call my dad to see what we can do. His dad can like legally take in fosters. So he's like, okay, let's just go to my house. My dad will call CPS. We'll figure it out. And they get her help. And the epilogue of the story is that now she is staying with Bryce's family. She's also dating Bryce now. And it's kind of like, he's kind of your foster brother now, but whatever, romance is romance. She's free from her evil family, and Bryce gets her a cat as a prom gift. And it's kind of just like, haha, remember when I ran over your cat because that's how we met? And so my takeaway, it was hard because this movie was like really badly acted. The way they say their lines is like a stone wall, but then it just kept getting like really serious. So I guess I left the movie knowing she's not like other girls because she wears Converse with her dress. So here we are at the end, and I feel like a shell of my former self. I have to go to work in like an hour and I'm exhausted. When Cinderella movies can be bad, they can be bad. And I can't tell if I just hate ball gowns or every ball gown in these Cinderella movies are ugly as, because I always rate them so low and I'm like, why are they all in ugly dresses? So overall, even though I definitely did not find the best Cinderella adaptation in the movies I watched today, it was interesting to see how different you can interpret the story of Cinderella through different tropes, because none of the movies I watched today were like at all similar other than the really boring one. Cinderella can kill a bunch of people or marry a wealthy bachelor or even be a victim of child abuse. So I guess I'm just gonna have to keep spinning that wheel. Thank you for watching. Have I had a lens flare this whole time?